I'm excited about this one. And first of all, I want to thank the people at the Brass Rail for letting PA Buckz and I hang here and talk about his world, the world, and grew up here in Allentown, right? Yeah. And so tell me a little bit about your story so we can start sort of, I can, first of all, you're a great guy and I appreciate you coming here. I really do.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Did they have to plead with you or like, oh, I'll give this a shot?
Nah, they just told me about it. I said, yeah, I'll go for it. Yeah, I'm used to it.
Tell me about you grew up here in Allentown, right?
Yeah, I grew up here. I was born in North Carolina, Elizabeth City. I was born out here, but always like just back and forth.
Oh, okay.
But this is where I became a man and got used to, and so Allentown it is.
Are you right now? You're working for
Promise Neighborhood.
So Promise Neighborhood, doing good work. Mm-hmm. Do you like that work? By the first,
I love it. Yeah.
Did you ever
feel like I'm working?
Amen. So part of what you do is do you have to understand the world that you're helping to make change in? First of all, do you feel supported? And secondly, does your life experiences make you like a perfect fit for that kind of job?
Yeah, most definitely. I feel supported 100%, and like my job description, it's easier because I come from, a certain background where I can, like when I talk to the kids, I relate, so we can have conversations because I done been through these things, went through jail. If they having issues, at home, if their mother ain't there, father ain't there. I lost my mother at 15. I lost my father early 20s. So I got, I have a history of just like, going through these situations where I talk to a lot of these kids, we can relate.
Buckz, what do people like not understand? Like some people have generation of security and it's all good. I don't want to say all the time. We all have our stuff, but what don't they, how hard was it for you at some times in your life? Whatever time you thought, I can't do this? When you lost your mom, you lost your dad?
I can honestly say I never had a moment where I said I couldn't do this. Like I never had I ask people all the time if they had suicidal thoughts or things like that because I want to know, but I never went through that. I always just, it was a point in time in my life where I just didn't care, where I just was angry. And like I said, I lost my mom at 15. So through those years, it was kind of just like an open door for me to do whatever. My grandmother always was there. I always had a great support system with family, but I can honestly say that I just no longer felt like a little boy when my mother was gone.
Yeah, certainly nothing close to you. I don't even pretend that. I don't want to get emotional because you're a good guy and to share. But I had a time in my life where my family lost everything. We lost our house. We lost everything. And I guess that time in life, you're like, where's all this going? And do I care where it's going? You're just, how do I figure this out?
Right.
Well, you've been there.
Yeah, that's how you figure it out. You just create your own path and you get through. And I made mistakes. In and out of jail through 19 of my early 20s, I was just in and out. I had my first daughter at 19. I didn't really slow down to about maybe 26, 27. So I just had this rhythm of just destruction but I always had a big support from my family.
But when you just said it, when you're in that rhythm, that's the rhythm, and you're not, there's a time in everyone's life, not everyone's too. I always think people, for instance, have addiction. Some people go to rehab one time, done. Some people go 7 times. Yeah, now you can't judge because I don't know why. I don't know why, in my mind, why God puts us, wakes us up someday, or I guess that's a question. So you're in the rhythm, and what hit you that you said that this I got to change, or this has got to change, or who did it for you? How'd that happen?
So, as time go by, you start to change and develop into like a man, right? You start really realizing, and you start to see what things are, what they are. So and honestly, what it was for me was just losing my friends. I lost a lot of my friends to gun violence. I've been in several situations. I'm still here, so it was just that moment when
you ever almost shot?
Several times. Yes, indeed, several times. And just to be able to be here. I got a son. My son's 12 years old. I got 2 nephews. So it came a point in time in my life where I'm like, I got to change this thing around. Because I started to care. Like I said, I didn't care. So I started to care. I realized where I wanted to be. I wanted to live. I wanted to be a father. So I just let a lot of things go. I had to work on my anger. I removed a lot of people from my life. And then I I like I said, I make music. So music was really my out. And then when I started making music more and then, just receiving love, everything just shifted and changed, and I just went the other direction.
And Promise Neighborhoods, is that your full-time job now? Your full-time gig?
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm full-time with Promise Neighborhoods.
Wow, so now you got some security going there.
Yeah, and I like it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so when you talk to people, you said you can't be fooled because you've seen it. In other words, when we don't want to change, we got a lot of reasons why we don't want to change, and you've been there.
Right. Yeah. So
have you ever felt like now in the new you, if you will, if I use that term, that you've saved? Can you ever have a feeling like I think I just maybe not saved someone, but you put them on a path that you feel good about?
Yeah, definitely. My older nephew, he watched everything that I do, just even down to him making music and just the way he moved. And I always tell him, keep a job. And, he worked 2 jobs. My son, very respectful. And just kids in the neighborhood, when they see me, everybody wants to talk. They want me to sit around for a little bit. I give them about 5-10 minutes, then I'm gone. But I give them as much game as I can. But with Promise Neighborhood, I really try to tap in with the kids that are just out there, causing chaos, because they're not ready for to go to jail. They can't. A lot of them can't sit in there. I've seen dudes, grown men, cry when they get back from court and tell on each other and lose their life, and then got no money for their funeral, and it's a mess. So when you really out there, it's kind of like you're being tricked, but it's not a real thing in the streets.
I can get the anger thing. So when you got rid of, I don't know all of it, but who was it at, and how'd you get rid of it? Because I think I get that you're so you don't need to. Not that you would be apologizing to me. I get that you're angry, but like where was it at? So maybe people can understand maybe what they can do to help the universe.
I just needed to heal. Right, I needed to heal, and I needed to just stop. I kind of guess it was like me looking for like someone to ask me these questions if I was okay, and I was fine. I don't know. I got a point in time. It really started to affect everybody around me. My house. I had anger issues. I lash out, tear the whole place up. Them in Walmart buying everything again. Right, and then it started to trickle down to my kids. So I went through a lot of things with my daughters. They was, fights in school, and I realized I'm like, it's a time for me to really start changing my character and just even how I talk to them. Like I'm like in my gentle parent era, where I just gotta, I would just conversate. We can heal in circles, things like that. It's important.
How do you feel? Like who got you there? That's my question. Did you have counseling? Is that what it is? Or
no.
So you just want to, in a sense, I hear, and you just want to be that. Besides maybe your grandparent, someone that cared or someone that asked you, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I feel like we're all aware of like the things that we do and what's happening. I think we just got to really care enough to change it or get away from it. So mine, like I said, I can see what it was doing, and mostly what it was doing to me, how I would feel, because I would lash out, and then I would be like, I'd be like, it ain't right. I shouldn't have did that. I started to feel weak as a man. Yeah. Like I couldn't control my emotions or my anger. So I needed to get that under control and just get me further in life. And then also going to Promise, just open conversations, being able to have a conversation with you. A year or so ago, maybe 2 years ago, I went and did this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just boxed in. Yeah. But I had to get out of that.
Would you want to be like someone like me? You're like, I don't know, that's the last guy in the world I want to talk to.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, I'm cool. But I'm just, now it's like, yeah, I'll go. Because I want to meet people like you. I don't want to be boxed in. I want to meet, like even the owner here. It might change. It just changed the conversation. I come in here, we met each other on a day like this, and I come in here, get a cheesesteak. We can.
Well, besides the fact that I love that you're dressed cool and you're such a nice guy. So the you that you talked about before could be a tough guy. I mean, you're on when you.
Just like I said, it's kind of like a brainwash, man. It's like it's an addiction as well. It's just like a drug. Then in a vibe, coming from an environment where and it's like it's around us too. If I got 10 friends that are up to no good, I'm the 11th one.
Yeah. And
if they got problems, I got problems. It's a big thing. So it's just surroundings, people, places, all of that.
So you saw people that, again, even though it's a tough world, you're attached, they're friends, they're your people. Mm-hmm. And you saw people die.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, people get shot, almost getting shot, funerals. So you become get tired of it.
Where do you think it's? I guess what I want to ask you, so we can, first of all, where do you think it's all going, and how can people that don't understand? I don't know. I don't want to ask a stupid, for lack of a stupid, wealthy white guy question, but where can they start understanding and help make a difference? And not from well, we're all knowing, but I mean, is it just, I don't know, just caring or just try? I don't know. Where does it? How do we make it all start to change?
Well, again, like I said, it's like a disease. Company and behavior is contagious. If I hang around you long enough, I'll pick up some of your habits. You'll probably make me want to interview people and things like that.
Yeah.
So I like I said, I believe it's just the surroundings and the people that you deal with.
Well, you
change
just
your mind.
That a great one. What is it? Company
and behavior is contagious.
Oh wow! Do you tell the kids that
all the time?
How important is Hassan Buckz to you and what he brings?
Very important. Mentor, keep you on top of your keep you on your game, man. Asking questions, throw you in these big conversations. There can be 100 people in the room, and he'll put you in front of them and.
So people understand the organization. So someone like you, okay, we're going to bring you on. You're going to work. You're going to have a job. But do they make you work on you too? I mean, is that so? You're working on out there, but do they also make you work on you before you go out there?
You work on yourself. Yeah, you gotta heal each other. We each other medicine. We believe in that too. Like just liberation is medicine. We each other's medicine. We heal each other. You gotta be healed to be able to heal somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So all of those things is just being in that place is just it's just like it's like a breath of fresh air.
Wow.
Big radical welcome.
When people say, so when you're out, quote unquote, out in the community work, what does that mean out? Are you going to where you hear in other words, are you going to like you hear there's a problem, there could be a problem this spot, or is that what you're like proactive trying?
Yeah, definitely. We go and engage into like things that are going on in the community. If it's like we go up to the high school, we go up to Rob. If it's a fight or anything,
I went to Rob.
You went to Rob? Yeah, I went to Rob too. That building been up for a while.
It looks, I went to visit. It looks the same when I was there.
Yeah, it's still the same. But yeah, that's what we do. We go, if it's a shooting, we go to the area and we make sure everybody's okay. We ask anybody if they safe. The family may need some type of help with funeral arrangements. If they need food or whatever they need, we provide free therapy. So it's a lot. We got a wellness center. We feed people from Wednesday through Friday and every other Saturday. So many things that's going on, bus passes and everything.
So let's say the shooting, I'm thinking maybe the one at 7th and Linden, which got a lot. So that, maybe not just that one anyway. You're going to the spot.
Yeah, we're going to the spot. We're going to make, ask the community if they okay. And
to the, I would think, man, our community leaders, police, do they appreciate that? Because, it can't just be, this, can't be just law enforcement. And you guys are sort of bridging that gap.
Most definitely, yeah. So it's like we got relationship like the chief of police and things like that. Will reach out and
he's a good guy.
Ask for help, ask us to pull up in certain areas, and we'll go over there and engage with the community. Because again, like the person closest to the problem is the one that can really solve it. So a person like me go to the area 9 times out of 10, I know them. I know what's going on. I know the people. So I go just provide anything we can to just help the community out.
Do you like what you're? I mean, do you like what you're doing? Oh.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
yes, indeed. Yeah, I love it. Somebody got to be there. I didn't have a me. I just had a whole bunch of knuckleheads like myself, and we had to figure it out.
Yeah, you didn't have a me.
I didn't have a me.
That's the biggest statement of all. You didn't have a me. Yeah. Well,
and now
I'm glad we have you. You're a really good guy. Really good guy.
Thank you, man. You too, man. I like your vibe.
Makes me emotional, but.
Thank you for having me, man.
Thank you. Backyard business. That's all I have to say. Good guy, Buckz.
Thank you, man.